Powering up essential systems. Booting root C/audio logs. Reviewing previous data cells. Repairing audio files.
It has to be too focused on the road for you to be able to do this. There you go.
Oh, you have a -1. Oh.
I have a -1 to cool.
Oh.
Yeah, probably wake up Rex. Think we're gonna need him.
No.
Why are we slowing?
When you have to deal with bad terrain, roll plus cool, plus your vehicle's handling.
Unless you completely total the vehicle.
Goes up in this huge mushroom plume of smoke and fire, and they scream something, and you swear that you swear that this person, this woman is screaming, Rex?
Bravo's vehicle is just...
Went off the road a little. These are mine now.
Dude,
these are the property of Bravo Niner.
Yeah, so from what you can tell, Amy is the person in charge of this camp.
Amy's my ex-girlfriend.
I have to go fix my van.
Oh! You know...
This guy seems like he's completely forgot the fact that, like, half an hour ago, she was trying to kill us. Alright.
Bravo, just let it go.
Murdering.
I'll get you your own bike later.
Last we saw our intrepid people. I don't know if heroes is quite the right word, but you were just leaving the camp of the Crimson Cobras. It is an hour or two, several hours past noon. If you push hard, you will have the ability to make it to New Pittsburgh by nightfall. That is where we left off.
Nightfall seems like a good time to get there. We don't want to be seen moving in. Are we gonna use that climbing over the wall on the west side, like?
Well, that's currently the only thing that we have. That's the only lead we have to get into the city.
The only other idea that I had, looking at the map, there is a river that goes through the city, so we could try some sort of sneakery through that way.
What's the driving situation right now? I'm driving my van. Is somebody else in the van with me, or are you both in Reptile?
I'm in Reptile with Rex.
So this is happening through our transponders. I should be saying over after everything I said.
I did want to have a little bit of like character exposition with Rex, though.
I was hoping you'd remember that because you said that last time.
I wrote it down. I erased my note, but I had a note about it.
I feel like Rex is a little too distracted to be behind the wheel right now.
So then I guess Dice will drive. And I would say for, the first like 30 minutes or so, we just driving in silence because everything that we had just left, she doesn't want to try to impose on anything. But after about 30 to 45 minutes of silence, she's just gonna go, hey, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm just thinking over a few things about what happened back there.
Yeah, I get it. If you don't mind me asking, what happened to you?
Well, back in New Orleans when I was, it was a great time. I had a great job being the determinator for Ms. Scarlet, the big woman in charge there. I was big body number one over there. Anytime there was a problem, I was there to put it out, help keep the city all nice and all that good stuff, riot free. Found myself Amy. We got along, but I wasn't really ever sure if she was. She didn't agree with what I was doing, and I don't know. Next thing you know, the city's on fire, and and I'm out of luck.
Wow. Well, I was married once, so I get it. He's gone now, and I don't think he's going to be coming back and showing up the way that Amy did. But, I just want you to know, I kind of get it.
It's hard losing everything, but, this newer life's not too bad either.
No.
We got another sweet new gig, and, a couple of partners to help back me up, at least.
That I can agree with. And then we'll go back to driving in silence until we start plotting our entrance into New Pittsburgh, I guess.
Solemn scene over. Say what? Character revelation. Okay. I was holding that back.
I had no idea Dice was ever married.
Yeah.
We'll have to ask about that sometime.
Yeah.
Bravo
I kind of wanted to, but I felt like I was just interested in talking about me.
Understandable.
Is there anything else that y'all do as you continue your approach towards New Pittsburgh?
I want to say I'm driving very carefully. I do not want the van to fall apart completely after the damage it's already taken.
Yeah, your van has taken kind of severe damage. It's still moving, but
yeah, so we're going pretty slowly. I'm taking the time to go around even the smaller potholes.
If only your vehicle had rugged and easily repaired.
If only.
Instead it has capricious and guzzler cobbled together thing.
Yeah, it has all three of those. Anyway, now we can have that conversation about the getting in.
About getting in, yeah.
When we are getting a little bit closer, I just over the radio.
So, what exactly is our plan for getting in? I mean, Amy told us about the way to get over the wall on the west side, but I also, if that's the most obvious way, it's going to be the most heavily guarded, right? Over.
I'm driving if Rex wants to respond.
Yeah, well, I suppose it would probably just be easiest if we did try to sneak in. It's not like they're gonna have, we'll just find somewhere without any guards. Make sure there's no, what's the word when you're watching people? With, cameras?
Oh, surveillance?
Yeah, surveillance. Make sure there's none of that going on. And, we'll be in pretty scot-free, I think.
Mm-hmm.
You forgot to say over. Over? Thank you, over. No, I agree. I think that getting into the city won't be the hardest part. I think that if this is a surveillance... Did I say that right? Place, then once we're in, if there are cameras everywhere, then they're gonna know that we don't belong. So after we get in, if there's some way we can get to some sort of information hub, maybe I can get in there and make them think we belong.
Maybe I can beat it out of someone.
I feel like beating somebody up in the middle of a street, right when you get in, is not the greatest approach.
No, not right out in the open. You just, knock them around for some information.
Now, there is a river that runs through the town. If we wanted to, we could have some sort of distraction in the obvious entrance and have the other two go through the river, but I don't like the idea of leaving one person outside the city.
No, I feel like the river could potentially be more dangerous because we don't have any way to properly navigate it.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know how deep it is. We don't know which way the current flows. I don't know much about rivers. So it could potentially be a good escape, however.
I don't really trust city rivers. The river back in New Orleans was a problem. You don't go in that water, so I'm not really interested in doing any swimming.
We'll keep that one as a backup plan for getting out of there in a hurry. I wonder if there's any explosive distraction we can rig up. Get the guards focused somewhere else while we sneak over the wall on the west end. Is something that we could rig up to take everybody's attention, but then when they look at it closer, they think it just happened naturally. Maybe there's a building we can knock over.
Boy, you'd be the expert at that now, wouldn't you, Bravo?
I know nothing
I don't know,
about
Rex.
explosions.
You're pretty good at breaking stuff, too. Thank you, though. Over.
Yeah, but you're the one who exploded that police station.
Yeah, that was chilling. How do you guys feel about that? We find a building pretty close to the wall on the east side. Rig it up to fall over after a certain amount of time so that everybody's focus is over there. But then when they look at it, maybe they'll see that nobody's actually trying to climb on that side and think that it was just time for that building to go.
Yeah, some of these buildings are on the outside of the city are pretty old, aren't they? They kind of scavenge some of them for parts. They haven't been living in them. Maybe if you did make it look like some sort of natural collapse.
Yeah, well, let's see what we can do when we get there. But I don't know. This is the best I got. We set up a distraction, get over the wall, and try to get to an information hub to make them think we belong there before we get noticed.
Sounds like a better plan than anything I could come up with, so...
We could just go in.
Something you would have remembered. Part of your briefing from Catherine Slater was that in an effort to keep New Pittsburgh safe, they have the city has demolished most of the, like, there's the walled section of the city and the rest of it's basically been demolished. So you can try and find a building that's still standing, but there's not going to be many of those, if any.
Okay.
Oh, because I'm like looking at the map and I thought those were like kind of some buildings.
Yeah, I mean, like, some of them are more standing than others, but you'll obviously get a better view once you actually get to New Pittsburgh.
Yeah, let's see what we're working with.
Okay.
What direction you're driving from? Are you driving in a straight line from the Crimson Cobras to New Pittsburgh, or are you taking a more circuitous route to end up approaching it from a specific direction? Basically, I just want a framework as the GM to describe, like, are you coming from the south, north, east, or west?
We're coming from the east, right? Because we want to see what we've got to work with from that side.
We're driving, yeah. But if we want to go around the city to try to get to the west end, then we could take an approach around.
I say if we want to look at the buildings on the east, we might as well just take the straight line, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you drive the rest of the way. You've had this conversation over the radios, just spitballing ideas and throwing things back and forth, and ultimately you come up with like a base idea, but you need to see the terrain before you really go at it. So you trundle up and you're taking your car and your vehicles, your small caravan of people, and you get to a point where you can start to see this like light haze coming up from the direction you're heading. The sun is starting to go down. It's starting to hit the horizon. You've got maybe 45 minutes of daylight left, and what you see looming in front of you is something that you don't see very often out here in the waste. Is this bright ball almost. The city of New Pittsburgh lies before you. You see the devastated ruins, the shattered buildings, many of them collapsed and toppled into each other, of the old Pittsburgh, the old city. And you see this wall. This wall that's being constructed. It's 15 feet high, basically uniformly around, and at multiple points you see these towers that stick up 30 feet up. They're built along the wall, and they have these like nests at the top. The city itself is almost a bright beacon. You see it's got the buildings in there have lights going. You see billboards scattered throughout the city with lights pointed at them. These billboards have what looks to be like modern writing, and they all have the same kind of symbol in the bottom right, but you're a little too far away to make out exactly what it looks like. You see the river flowing into the city through this section of the wall that goes over it and enters the city, and you behold the majesty, the electric metropolis that is New Pittsburgh from a great distance anyways.
Here we go.
What a beautiful city.
It's a very large wall.
15 feet. If we all stack up on top of each other's shoulders, we can make it.
I'm almost half that.
Man, we took Gregor's infinite grappling hook for granted, didn't we?
We really did.
Well, let's take a careful approach towards stuff towards the rubble. Any rubble that's at least somewhat close to the city on the east.
The rubble that Amy was talking about was in the western end.
Yeah, but we're going to the east to see what we can make as a distraction.
True. To hide.
I still need to be focused on the driving as much as possible.
Hey Rex, can you keep your eyes out, see if you see any cameras? I haven't heard anything about them watching outside the city, but if they did, that could really mess us up.
So we're getting closer at this point, and we can kind of see the walls and the
Yes. You have not, and correct me if I'm wrong, but you have not yet entered the rubble of the old city.
Okay.
You're still at kind of the edge of it.
My assumption is that I'm too far to roll sharp for that because cameras are small.
Yes, it is too far to roll sharp for this specifically for the cameras. But if you'd like to read a chart, it isn't. If you'd like to read a charge situation, because I guess y'all are making a charge situation by being scared of it.
I don't know, it doesn't feel charged yet. Intense, but not charged.
Is the moon out? How bright is it outside right now?
The sun is still up.
The sun's still up.
Sun is still up. It's on the horizon. As I said, you've got about from where you first made like visual contact to the city to the point where you could lay things out a little bit. You got about 45 minutes of daylight before the sun will be completely below the horizon. After which you hit dusk and then nautical twilight and then eventually astronomical twilight, and then you can look at the stars. But maybe not with the light pollution. Who knows?
Well, I'm just making a note now that as it gets darker, I'm going to turn off the headlights because we're close enough. If this city has watchtowers, we don't want to be seen. In fact, once we get to the edge of the ruined city, maybe we need a park and go the rest on foot.
I was gonna say, I feel like we should get kind of into the rubble, but not super far enough to hide the vehicles, and then do the rest on foot because it'll be easier to hide us than the vans.
All right. Do I need to roll something to find a good place to hide my van?
You're gonna hide your van in the edge of the rubble.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Can you roll to act under fire? Because here's the thing that you're really worried about is them spotting you and your headlights as you enter that edge of the ruined city.
Yeah. Woo! I got an 11 plus 3 for weird. So.
Okay, cool. You seem to be able to avoid detection. As far as you can tell, you haven't heard any alarms blaring. There's haven't been gunshots whizzing over your head. So as far as you can tell, you've gone undetected.
Well, I suppose Dice is driving, but I presume she's following Bravo's lead.
Yes.
After parking, I do my best to kind of, if there's loose pieces of rubble, maybe a piece of sheet metal or anything sitting around, I can try to kind of cover up my van, and since it already looks like a pile of junk, it shouldn't be the hardest thing to camouflage.
Yeah.
But while we're doing this, I have the one thing. Do we want to travel on foot at night? It gets dangerous at night. So do we want to spend the rest of the evening finding a place to hide the vans, camp for the night at the vans, and then in the morning set out?
The plus side is if we're traveling at night, we're less likely to be seen, and we do have Rex with us. So
I was going to say, when travel at night, I'm the danger, not other people.
I guess that is true. Rex
is the one who knocks.
Never mind then.
I look in my van for any sort of things that I can use to rig up an explosive. I get some wires, get some stuff that I can use as transmitter and stuff like that. Or actually, I've been using up my transmitters a lot. I'm going to instead grab something that I can use as a timer.
When in doubt, we can always just make a regular explosion, not connected to any building.
This is true.
It'll be more believable if we find an old ruined gas station, even if it's been knocked down. If we have an explosion in an old ruined gas station, they could think, oh, maybe a rat fell into a vat, or I don't know. I don't know how gas stations work.
And now he's gone kersplat.
A rat makes a gas station go boom.
I was following
It's a sad day for the cat.
What do you do? We've got a lot of hypotheticals. What actions are we taking?
Okay. Hiding van.
I grab explosives. I grab stuff that I can use to make an explosive. And a timer, and that's me.
Okay, so what show me the a Hollywood clip of you gathering all the stuff and grabbing the bits and bobs from your van to make this explosion. You're what kind of things are you grabbing specifically?
Okay. Yeah. All right. I slide open the door and I'm like, hey, I need some extra hands. Come over here. And I'm rummaging through stuff and I'm pick up a like a small bag of fertilizer. I'm like, yeah, that could help. And I like put it, hand it to somebody, and I like pick up some wires, and then I realize that they're connected to my DVD player. I'm like, no, not those ones. And I go grab some other wires, and then I find like an old watch, like an old Timex watch, and I'm like, that's what has been beeping every hour. It's been driving me crazy. This is what we're using now. I'm like, okay, guys, I think I got what I need. I slam the door shut. I'm like, let's go blow something up.
Okay. So I feel like while that's happening, camouflage, be working to hide them, kind of make sure that they're kind of hard to see, especially from like maybe a specific angle towards the city.
When we're doing this explosion, are we gonna grab the cars back, or are we just gonna run from wherever the explosion is?
We're just gonna run.
I was thinking we'd set a timer and then walk to the other side, have it blow up when we're over there, when we're already in place.
Not a bad idea.
It'll probably take a while to walk to the other side, so it's definitely going to be much later at night when this happens.
Mm-hmm. Nice and dark.
Nice and dark.
This time, Dystropia gets dark.
Okay.
Because it hasn't been before.
Here's the question I have. So I don't think it's going to be, it's not going to be difficult. You can rig a bomb. You're a savvy head. Like, you make crap. That's how it works. How close to this eastern city wall do you want to rig this bomb?
What do we got as far as rubble? Like, now that we're here and looking at it, how far away from the wall is everything cleared out and blank? Is there any sort of building that's like within 100 feet of the wall? Or is there an old gas station that's somewhat close? What can we find?
So you'll be able to find basically anything. If you look at the map, even just on the eastern edge, you can see that when they collapsed the city, like they built the wall and then collapsed the city around the wall. It doesn't look like they did a particularly great job, because like there are some sections, like especially near the river, where like it's very clear, like for like a city block before you start seeing the rubble. There's other areas where the rubble is literally butting up against the wall. There's some areas where the rubble is almost acting as a lever or ramp up to the wall. They did not do a great job. If you were ballsy enough, you could set an explosion at the base at a building in the base of the wall. But you basically have the full gamut. You can set it 100 feet away, 200 feet, 300 feet. You can find you should be able to find like a busted up gas station somewhere in there. I don't think that's illogical.
Okay. I want to keep my eyes open for, is there a place within a couple 100 feet of the wall where there's a building somewhat standing and a gas station next to it?
Yeah. I think that's perfectly reasonable. Now here's the thing that will really matter. You are approaching the city wall and there are watchtowers all over it.
Yeah.
Like you may still be 200, 300, 400 feet away, but you're getting closer.
Yeah.
And you're hauling a bomb. Like how big is this? Like that, like size wise, like
too big for a purse, small enough for a backpack.
Okay, so you are really relying on a secondary fuel source to make this worth noticing.
I suppose so. When I see the gas station that's like somewhat close to a building that's somewhat close to the wall, I point at it and I'm like, okay, guys, this is gonna require a bit of sneaking, but I think that's our place right there.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Are we close enough to see, like we're staying hidden best we can, but are we close enough to see the people in the towers or their tinted windows or anything?
Yes. I will say, so these towers, the towers on the wall, they do not have any windows. It's just like, for the sake of imagining, kind of imagine a lighthouse if there was no glass in the paneling. You know, like it's a tower, there are like supports for a roof, but there's no wall, there's no like walls. There's like a little like guardrail, I guess you could say, around the outside, but there's not really walls. Let me check my notes, but I believe there are 3 people in each tower. You see 3 people in each tower, and they're consistently scanning the outer city as they move around the tower and whatnot. So here's what we can do. All of you can make the roll individually, and we'll count successes versus failures.
I'm really glad that you took that +1 in cool, Becca. because let's do this thing.
All three of us roll?
Yeah, let's do it.
I think so. Okay, cool. So the fire that you're under, setting this bomb without getting noticed.
Okay.
I'm really hoping there's some gas left over that hasn't been siphoned out. 'Cause that'll help this explosion to be nice and pretty. What did you get?
I got a 7.
Yay!
I rolled a 2.
Oh no!
And bravo.
10 plus 3.
I cannot
crud.
believe
Oh my gosh.
the absolute inversion that has happened here. I rolled a 2 on my hard for the first time. This is my first 2. Like, even that plus 3 does nothing.
Wait, isn't this do something under fire? That's cool.
I replace it with hard.
Oh, you do. That's right.
See, I rolled a 5 and a 2, and I saw the 2 on the dice first, and so I died. I was like, no. And then I saw the 5, and I was like, oh, it's okay.
Cannot believe.
So we got a 13, a 7, and what did you get? A 2?
2.
Well, 2 plus 3, but like it's a natural
Okay.
2. Thematically, it makes sense. Maybe Rex is just still... His head's not fully in the game.
Yeah.
Not fully in the game. Stealth was never Rex's forte. It was
Still be shook. He's
opera was his forte.
Opera's his forte.
Okay. Okay, here's what happens. Here's what happens. Okay, so y'all find this gas station. It's this decrepit old thing, you know, like you can see some of the pumps are still there. The building has been collapsed. There's this like half destroyed green dinosaur lying on its side in the parking lot somewhere. But you decide this is where it is. It's about 250 feet, maybe 300 away from the wall. As you're going up to set this bomb, Bravo, you're feeling good about this, but Rex knocks something over. I don't quite. It's this metal sign. He knocks over this metal sign.
He like leans against a stop sign, and then it just falls over.
Yeah, absolutely. And Dice, you're close enough. You're close enough to Rex to like yank him back into the shadows behind like a building, and y'all hear like a noise from the nearest watchtower. It's this babble of people, and you hear this. You hear a flick, and a spotlight turns on, and starts like sweeping in the vague direction of where you are. It's not on you yet. So bravo. We're gonna call this a mixed success because the true success and the true failure canceled out, and we were left with a mixed success. So that's how I'm gonna interpret it. As the person setting the bomb, I'm gonna give you this. You have a choice. You can either get away without detection, or set the bomb.
Hello, lovely listeners. This is Aaron, out of character for a very special announcement. We are about to start recording a second campaign. This one is whole new setting, whole new characters, new genre, new role-playing system, and a couple new voices that you haven't heard before. It's called Spacing Out, and I will be the game master. Imagine a kind of Stranger Things meets Interstellar kind of story. So the teens of small town Aberfield, California are about to get themselves entangled in a mystery that stretches beyond the edge of this galaxy. I'm super excited. Hope you are too. And if you want to get your name in the show as an NPC, go ahead and just share something about us on social media, and I'll name a character after you. If you post on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter with the hashtag SpacingOutPod or hashtag DystropiaPod, I will name an NPC after you. Or if you want to post about it somewhere else, go for it. Just make sure I see it by tweeting it at Aaron Ignota. Just, I don't know, screenshot it and send me a direct message or something. But while you're there, give me a follow. I post about the show. Posting some cool art that Trent has been making. that's custom to each episode, and I would love to hear from you. Let me know what you think of the show as a whole. And that being said, let's get back to the episode.
Thank you so much for all of those who have been listening to this podcast. If you would just be able to go and subscribe on whatever platform it is, or share, send us a review or a voice message even on Anchor, that would be wonderful. We love hearing from you, and we love to see your feedback, and we want to make sure that you don't miss any of the upcoming episodes. That would be a true tragedy. So go ahead and do that. And I think that's everything. So we'll get back to the show now.
I choose to get away without detection. I think it's too important this early. I just pull back and I'm like, it's too hot, guys. We got to get out of here. The whole point of this is to have people think we're not here. Let's go. If we get away without them seeing us, they'll assume it was a raccoon.
A mutant raccoon.
Oh yeah, these things are horrifying.
Yeah. So you've been able to retreat back to a safer location, a place where you're hidden and they're not explicitly looking for you. So unfortunately, plant the bomb. Location 1 has not worked. What do y'all desire to do now?
I think there's a silver lining to this. I think if they already have their hackles up, even if there's an explosion that's further away from the wall, they're gonna look at it.
They're gonna look at it.
So let's find an easy place to plant it.
Okay.
You guys down? What do you think, Rex? You with us?
I think it's not a bad idea at all.
Okay.
Although I am going to be sad there's no explosion.
Oh, there'll still be an explosion. Just a little more distant.
A little further away from the wall.
Yep. And in this situation, if anyone desires, I would call this charged.
Ooh.
If you so desire.
I desire, because Sharp is highlighted. I'm going to read a charged situation. Ooh. Oh my gosh. My rolls are on fire. Tension isn't even high. Okay, I got an 11 for read a charge situation.
Read a sitch or a person. There we go. Okay, there we go. So what questions do you desire to ask?
I want to ask, what should I be on the lookout for?
You should be on the lookout for open ground. No cover. Not good.
Okay. All right. Next question. What is my best way in? Or where's my best way in? Sorry.
From what you can see anyways, if you go as far south while still being on the east wall, there's a lot of rubble that butts up real close and up against the wall. So if you're looking for an easy way over the wall, that's probably the best place.
Okay. I point at that and I'm just like, okay, guys, if something happens and we need to scurry over, we don't have time to make it around to the other side, I think we might be able to get through there, but hopefully it doesn't come to that.
I see what you're looking at there. So we will, worst case scenario, make a run for it over the wall.
Can I bank my third question?
Not with Rita Sitch. With Rita Person you could, but not with Rita Sitch.
Okay. Then I'm going to ask, what's my enemy's true position?
In the watchtowers. I'm sorry, I don't know what you expected.
Holds well spent.
They're not hiding. They are not hiding.
Right behind you.
Well, that's good to know that they're not right behind me. All right, so being careful to avoid open spaces. I look for a new place that's further from the wall, easier to not get caught, but it still has a precarious-looking building next to an old gas station. What can I find?
So you're making your way south, looking for another gas station to blow up.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Pittsburgh was a big city. I don't think it's wrong to say that there's another one. It's a smaller gas station for sure, not as big as the previous one. It looks like it was a little smaller of an operation, but yeah, you can find another one.
Good. All right, let's sneaky on over there and hook this thing up. Is there any gas left in here that I can use to make it extra pretty?
Sneaky.
You could always use your car as well for it. You don't need it anymore.
Excuse me.
Not when we got Reptile here with us.
I've looked inside Reptile. I don't think it has room for my shop.
I wish we had the Corolla.
It's the first time anyone's ever said that.
Too bad we left it.
If
Bravo didn't end up stealing a motorcycle, did he?
No, he didn't. They
Dang, should have let him do that.
he failed his hot roll, and then you told him very explicitly to leave it.
I regret everything.
Don't worry, we'll get one on the way back. Well, if there's no gas here, we could siphon some gas from the van if you think that the Reptile could tow it on the way out of here. But let's check and see if we got any juice to work with in here. Do you want me to just roll highs or lows?
Yeah, just roll roll a d6. Tell me the number.
It's a 6.
Okay, yeah, there's some gas.
Okay.
You're on fire.
In my incredibly extensive knowledge of how a gas station stores its fuel, because I obviously perfectly know exactly how they do that. You're able to tell that there's still some in there.
Okay, I use it.
The pump just works.
The pump definitely does not work. There is no power to these pumps, but like. There's still some in the I guess I know they store it in big underground canisters.
The
pump is so broken, you just pull the handle and the gas comes out.
Yeah, there you go. Sorry, say that again, Bravo.
Oh, I said I, also knowing how gas stations work, use that gas and hook it up to my thingy in a way that will also hopefully make the building next to it collapse.
Yep. How far back from the wall are you doing this?
We're further this time. We're like a half mile.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I think that is totally reasonable. Cool. So I think you're able to do this.
As I'm hooking it up, I'm like getting to the very careful part and having them keep their different distance. And I'm like, hey guys, how long do you think it's going to take us to walk around the city, get to the other side? I'm setting the timer.
Shoot. I'd probably give us like 2 or 3 hours.
2.5 hours?
Sure.
Boom.
That sounds all right.
I mean, not boom yet.
Not boom yet.
In a while, boom.
It's really only going to distract the people that are on that side of the city, isn't it?
Yeah, but now we're on the south end of the wall, and we're on closer to the south side, and we're trying to get over to the west side. So just based off of how big it is and how kind of the walking we've already done, Mr. MC, about 2.5 hours, or should we give ourselves a little more time on the timer?
Wait, Rex has a solid idea. It might, if this explosion might be too subtle, it might not draw the people from the west side of the wall over. We could scurry over that spot that we saw, though. It's not too far from here.
Distract the people on the south side and just go through the wall there. They're not going to be paying as much attention.
It's risky. If anybody happens to be running past,
we can keep our eyes peeled.
That's true. Okay. Riskier, but better plan than walking all the way to the west.
Okay, I'm setting this thing for 30 minutes.
So just lay me out like the specifics of the plan. So you're planted the explosive. You're setting it to go off in about 30 minutes. Mm-hmm. Where are you hunkering down to wait this out? Are you approaching the wall to make it a shorter run? Are you getting farther away? Like what how's that going?
So when we were talking with Amy, she was talking about the stuff on the west side, so we don't know as much about the walls on the south side.
No.
So I'd like to kind of look for, especially as per what I was messaging you about potentially if that comes into play, look for a way in, or the best way in possibly.
There was when I read the charge situation, there was the place that Trent pointed out here on the south side that would be a good way in.
Oh, remind me about that.
He said there was a place where the rebel goes up where it looked like we could scurry over the wall here on the south side. So I say we get close to that so that we can conceal ourselves well and then watch as the explosion goes off, wait for a gap in the guards running past, and then scurry over.
Yeah, I agree.
And
Okay.
Rex, do you have any quiet ways of taking people out just in case? I mean, we're gonna need your skills up there probably, but if we unleash Opera, we're gonna have the whole city coming down on us.
Not from a distance, but if I get behind someone, I can take care of them pretty easily.
Sweet. Okay. Then let's secrete ourselves over here somewhere.
I'm sorry,
Close enough to watch.
Secrete?
Secret. Whatever.
Oh. I was like, what kind of word is that?
I was like, that's not what secrete means.
Hey, Bravo's never been the most literate. Also, it is what secrete means. It's the second definition if you Google it. Conceal or hide.
Oh, today I learned.
But I like secret better, but whatever. We don't need to dwell on it. Bravo's vocabulary has never been as strong as it.
No. Well, I'm just, Rebecca knows what the word means and did not mentally put it in the right. That was a Rebecca error.
Bravo's that scared, huh?
So here's what I imagine, and tell me if I'm wrong. But so, y'all plant the bomb. You're extra careful this time, making sure that you don't get spotted, you don't make any noise, you don't sit anything. Like Rex is like sitting down on the curb, like back a little ways. But you get it set. You have the I don't know, like the two like wires like taped to the hands of the watch, and once they touch or whatever, like it'll go kaboom. I don't know how to make bombs, but nor do I want to. Google, don't put me on your watch list, nor the whatever. But but so you do that. You hunker down for the time, and I imagine Bravo has more than one timepiece on him. A savvy head of technology and whatnot, or someone has some form of way to keep time.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. But yeah, so you hunker down, and you get that tense moment where it's like, okay, you guys ready? And you go 10, 9, and you get just like this quiet little countdown as y'all get ready. Your stance is ready. You go 3, 2. You get this. You have this like it's almost like a 2-stage explosion where you have the initial burst of the thing you created, and the flume of just orange yellow flame just coming gushing up from the vat of gasoline that you've vaporized, and almost immediately. Sorry, say what? Vaporized?
Sorry, no, I just said flume is a good word.
Yes.
Flume.
3 things happen almost immediately. 1. Almost all the watchtowers that are nearby, all their spotlights flick on, immediately point over there, and you can. I mean, it's a bright explosion. Like you're close enough. You can see the people in these towers. In most of these towers, you see one person. He hoists a rifle and like starts training it in that area. But the 2 other people, they go back and they go behind the wall a little bit. And then you hear, especially because the 2 towers that you're relatively close to, you hear them yell fire, and you see these smaller explosions from the top of each of these watchtowers. And as you pan over to the area that you set up that's currently on fire, you see these 2 other just like these 2 other explosions go boom boom in the general vicinity of the bomb that you set off.
Gosh. They have missiles. I want one.
You also hear, I said, and the 3rd thing that you hear is a klaxon. A klaxon alarm is sounded.
All right. Do we see people running?
Not from the wall. You don't see anyone fleeing the watchtowers. It'll probably take a couple of minutes for them to like mount the force and get out of the wall and get to the area that you've kaboomed.
I think this is a charged situation.
I'd agree.
Could I read it?
Mm-hmm.
Shoot, I accidentally closed that playbook. That is a 9.
Okay, you'll get to ask one question.
What's my best way in?
So you've created a distraction, and it's in the east. So all the attention in the world is pointed towards the east. So if ever there was a time to vault over the southern side of the wall, now is it.
Okay.
It's go time.
Now?
It's go time.
It's go time now? Oh boy!
Okay. Dice is just gonna kind of take off towards the wall.
All right.
Yeah, I presume Rex is the first one to take off charging.
If she'll follow right behind.
I scurry up afterwards. Keeping
Keeping a beat.
Yeah.
And I can't do the thing?
Not on this wall. Not on this wall. This wall is purpose built to keep people out. Actually, let me reread the move.
I understand what you want, but like I am reading the move, and I don't know.
The move is not specific. It says you can do whatever. Yeah. Okay. So, how about this? Let's just take like an out of character moment and just discuss this as a group. Let's make this a group discussion.
Okay.
Sorry. Rex, would you like to read the move that you've decided to take?
Yes. As my +1 that I banked, I took a move from the the Faceless. I took the move from the Faceless called "Oh Yeah."
Oh, I've read this one.
And
no, Matt, you need to say it right.
Oh yeah.
There we go.
And what you do is you roll plus hard to smash your way through scenery to get to or to get away from something. Think smashing through walls or pushing through burned out husks of cars.
Okay.
And kind of the debate we're having is whether this wall, how strong this wall is.
Yeah, because it's like the debate I'm having in my head is whether this wall counts as scenery or an obstacle. And
I mean, ultimately, it's up to Trent, I think. I mean, even if smashing through the wall is possible, the whole point of the way we set everything up is to try to make it seem like the explosion was an accident and nobody got in. If we break a hole straight through the wall, then it will make it very obvious that somebody got in.
Yeah, but, you know.
I think
Rex want to smash.
But I don't think Rex cares.
The other question is, I mean, how far are we going to take the suspension of disbelief? I mean, we know Rex is strong, but like running straight through a stone wall.
A wall.
I mean,
I guess you know what? Here's the way I lean. We're gonna follow. I'm gonna follow the rules. The rules as written say, think smashing through walls. Now cool. So Rex, I will rule because this is a ridiculous thing for a ridiculous game set in the post-apocalypse. It's ridiculous, anyways. But it is as written, and I will stick to it this time because I don't really have a valid reason. I will rule you can make the hard roll to smash through the wall.
Okay.